Hello everyone, and welcome to my air dribble tutorial. Today's video I'm going to show you the 3 steps that you need in order to get a successful air dribble. Now this is for very basic air dribbles, no pre-flips, nothing like that, just nice simple air dribble that will get you some free goals in the lower ranks, and it shouldn't take too long to learn it. There's 3 steps: the setup, the first touch, and then the carry. The setup is by far the most important. If you get the setup right, it's much easier to get a good first touch, and it's much easier to carry the ball. So here is how you do the setup. So what you want to do is you just want to roll the ball. It has to be at a good angle. So you don't want to, if we're trying to attack that goal, you don't want to roll it like this, because then when you pop it, you're facing this way, and you're not gonna be able to get to goal. But at the same time, you don't want your angle to be too far. Otherwise, now look where we're going, right? So what you want is your angle to sort of be just about like this, and then you see how I'm facing right at the goal without even having to maneuver my car at all. So I'd say if you're looking at it, if you're sitting on this middle line, you want the ball to be rolling in between this blue part here. See this? You just want it rolling at that little itty bitty angle, and then when you jump, you'll be right behind it. Alright, so that's step 1. Step 2, which is probably the hardest part. I think the carry is a lot easier than people think. But step 2 is the first touch. So what you want to do is you obviously roll the ball at that angle I was talking about, and then you break right about here. So right before the ball rolls up the wall, you hit the brakes for a second, and then you see how there's space between you and the ball? Because if you don't, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to do this, and then the ball is going up to the ceiling, and it's way too close. So what you do, you come up, you break, and then as the ball, you see this little line here, this yellow line, as the ball passes that yellow line right there, that's when you want to take your first touch. So you roll the ball up the wall, break, and then touch. And then as soon as you touch, you jump. But actually, not as soon as you touch. You want to give it like a quarter of a second, right? So you're gonna come over, roll the ball at a good angle, break, and give it. You see how I paused for just a second, and then you can take your air dribble. And now for the last part, and the first 2 steps should take you 15 to 30 minutes to learn, as long as you're like plat or diamond, right? If you just start the game, of course it'll be hard, but. So the last step is the carry, right? So you roll at a good angle, you break, you touch it, and then you just want to feather your boost. You jump, you do the little air roll, you feather your boost, and make sure you're staying on the bottom part of the ball. So you want to be looking right at this bottom part of the ball. So you take it, you break, you touch, you jump, and you just want to hit under it. And every time you touch it, let go of boost. Just let go, and the ball will stay close to your car. Because look what happens if I fully boost through every touch. The ball just goes way too far away from you. Right? So all you want to do is you want to boost pretty hard in between. And then when you get there, just tap. Let go of the boost. And it'll be a lot easier. So yes, you can feather your boost. Feathering is also good. But I like to get to the ball quickly and then let go. And then it allows you to get your air dribble started more quickly while also keeping under control. Now if you're just learning, maybe feathering would be good, and it also keeps control. But as you rank up, so yeah, that should be what you do when you're lower ranked. But once you get into the Grand Champ, Champ 3, Grand Champ ranks, you're going to want to be sort of boosting really hard and then taking your touch off so that you can get a much easier air dribble. So to recap, step number 1, the angle, right? You want that good angle, and then the ball's already going toward the net when you jump off. Step number 2 is the first touch. As you're going, you don't even have to brake. You can just stop accelerating, right? That's an important thing to know. Like, I'm not necessarily hitting brake. Like, that's me hitting brake. But this is me. I just let go of accelerate, and it still gives you the space, right? And then you can just jump off, take your air dribble, blah blah blah. Once you have those down, which should be fairly easy to get down, then it's just the carry. feather your boost, and just get a nice air dribble. And honestly, this up until like champ, this is gonna be good enough. Watch this air dribble, touch, and then you just get a second touch, and that second touch will just ruin defenders. They'll be like, oh, nice aerial, okay, whatever. But then once you get that second touch, like, look, they're gonna be up by now, and then you just touch it over them, and that's just gonna beat so many defenders. Should take you only maybe an hour or two to learn this. Of course it'll be hard at first. It'll be like this impossible, but trust me, you can go from this very quickly into something like this, where you have full control over it. You're just tilting, you're sawing your car back and forth, seesaw, whatever, and then that allows you to do cooler things like air dribbling onto the ceiling, all that kind of stuff like this, where you can air dribble a bit and then let go a bit, get the flip reset, whatever. And yeah, so air dribbling is a great foundational mechanic, not necessary whatsoever to get up to Grand Champ. However, it will get you some free goals, and of course it's just a staple mechanic of the game. It's a fun one to do. It's always nice when you get that clean carry over someone, and yeah. So that's the end of the air dribble tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something. Let me know how it goes in your own training, and catch you guys for the next tutorial, which will either be flip resets, speed flip, or something else that you might want. But make sure to just leave that in the comments. Please leave a like, and yeah, peace.